Hey guys, Hussein and welcome to YouTube channel. So in the previous section, we take care of the users, like we learn about how to create a user, how to update a user, how to delete a user, and also what are admin user and how the admin would be able to what do we call it, update the user, delete the user, and add the user, and all of that. So now in this section, we are going to be taking care of the categories. So in this section, we are going to be specifically learning about how to create a category, how to update a category, how to delete a category, and all about categories, both for the backend and also for the front end as well. So what I want to do first of all is that I want to go ahead and create a route for myself. Okay, so I'm going to just write like app.use, and now let me just go ahead and create an API and category. There we go. And now here we just have to specify like a category routes right here. So I'm going to just copy that, and let's just duplicate this line of code, or let's just create this category right here, or these routes right here. Let me just create a file, give a name of like category routes.js, not JSX, but just category route.js right here. So inside there, first of all, we are going to be importing our express. So now let me just get express from express, and also the router will be now set to express.router right here, uppercase router. There we go. So underneath that, first of all, we are going to be exporting that. So like export default and router. And now let me just create one simple route, like I don't know, router.route. And I guess first of all, we are going to be starting one conversation from creating a category. Create category would be fine, which we are going to be creating in a few seconds, but I'm going to just save this file. And what I want to do is that I wanted to just import this category routes from, let's just go ahead to the routes first of all, and then we got to go to the category routes right here. I'm going to save this file, and I'm going to close this file because we don't need that file no more. So the next thing which I want to do is that I want to get my authentication and authorization from the auth middleware. So I'm going to just go ahead and grab my authentication, ENTICATE, and also authorize admin. From where? From my middleware. So let's just go ahead and go to the middlewares, go to the auth middleware.js file right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this file, and now let me just copy that. Let me just place it right here because sometime I have a lot of problems with spelling. So I'm going to just save this file, and there we go. Okay, so the next thing which we want to do is that we want to create a controller. So first of all, we got to go to the controllers, and here we have to create a file, give a name of like I don't know, category controller .js would be fine. So I'm going to just hit enter right here. But before we getting into the controllers, first of all, we have to create a model for our category, like how our category should look like. Okay, so what I want to do is that I'm going to just write like category model.js right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I wanted to get my mongoose from mongoose, and also let's just create a schema for our category. So category schema would be equal to new mongoose, come on, mongoose dot schema. And here we just have to specify our empty object. And now let me just provide a name, and the name will be just taking a type of string. And also let's just trim it out. So I'm going to just use trim of true, and I'm going to also require that because we just have one thing to require. Okay, so it should be required, and then we have to specify the max length, and it will be now set to like 32 characters, and now it should be unique, UNIQUE, and unique true. So this is how we are going to be creating a schema for our model or category. So now let's just export our model. So I'm going to use export default mongoose, mongoose, there we go, mongoose.model. And now let me just create a model by the name of category, and let's just go ahead and provide our schema right here. So now I'm going to just save this file, and there we go. That's it about for the category schema. So the next thing which we want to do is that we want to create our controllers, and then we would be able to attach them with our routes right here. So I'm going to just copy that, and now let's just create that right here. So before we create that, first of all, we got to import the category which we just created, like the category model. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go to the model, and I'm going to go into the category model.js file, and I'm going to also get my async handler. That was a bit I don't know. I'm going to just create this create category right here, and then async handler right here. And now let me just put my async. It will take request and response, and inside there we are going to be passing or try and catch blocks. But before we getting into all of that, let's just export that create category right here, baby. And now what I want to do is that for the catch block, we just want to log error to the console. Underneath there we are going to be just returning like res.status, and we just want to put like 400 inside there and provide a JSON error. There we go. So the catch block is totally complete. Now let's take care of what do we call it, the try block. So the first thing which you want to do, like anytime you want to create a new category, we have to specify some sort of a name for that category. So we're going to take that name from the user. So I'm going to just destructure the name from where, from the request.body. Okay, so I'm going to just log that name to the console right here, save my file, and let's just shut down our server, and let's just run npm run and back, and there we go. So I'm going to just hit enter, and it will just start running my backend. And guess what? We forgot to include or import it right here. So let's just do that. I'm going to use like import, and what do we have to import? The create category. Bang. Okay, so I'm going to just save this file, and now let's just restart my server once again, and this time it should work and everything is a-okay. Thumbs up. Okay, so what do you want to do? The first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to create a folder, give a name of like users, and I'm going to put all of their users route inside there. So let me just grab their admin and put it inside this users, and let me just get all of their users route right here and put it inside this user right here. Okay, so they belong to this folder. Let me just collapse that, and now let me just create one more folder for the categories. So I'm going to just create a folder for category or categories, plural. Categories, there we go. The name doesn't matter, like you can give them any name you want. So now let me just go ahead and make a request right here, excuse me, and I don't know, create category would be fine. Okay, so what I want to do is that I wanted to get my local storage I wanted to get my local host 5000, and we wanted to go to the category in this case. And now let's just change that to post, and we want to provide the name inside a body. So let's just click on the raw and go to the JSON, and here we have to specify the name. So the name will be, I don't know, so far would be fine. And I'm gonna just click on the send button right here. So we are not seeing anything, but if you check out our terminal, so here you can see we are getting this so far right here, which means like we are getting the data from the user totally correctly. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing which we want to do is that we wanted to check if not name, like if the user didn't specify any name and we want to trim it out. So what do you want to do? We just want to return to the user like res.json of what? Let's just provide the error object, and it should say like name is totally required, bro. You have to you have to specify the name. Underneath that, what do we have to do? We just have to check for the existing category if you already have one. So I'm gonna just write exists, come on, exist thing category, change the name to const like so, and it will be equals to await. And let's just go ahead and go to the category model, and let's just use the mongoose method, which is find one, and provide our name to it. Okay, so we just want to check for the existing category name, and if it's already available, so what do you want to do in that case? We just want to validate that to the user. So you would just say like existing category if that's available. So what do you want to do? We just want to return the res.json. Okay, so I'm going to specify the error, and I'm going to say like already exists, baby. So I'm going to just save this file, and that's for the already existed one. So what I want to do is that first of all, I'm going to not provide anything right here in this case, and I'm going to just hit send, and it will give us empty string. I mean, like it will give us empty object, and that's not something that we required. We wanted to get this one, name is required. So why aren't we getting that? Let's just go ahead and run it once again. Let's suppose if I didn't specify anything, and why in the world we are getting this empty object right here, even though we literally okay, we are getting undefined trim. All right, can I read the property of undefined trim? We are already trimming that, so let's just remove this trim from here because we are already doing that in mongoose, or what do we call it, in the model, so we don't have to do that again. So let's just check it out once again. If we didn't specify any name to it, and there we go. So here you can see now we are getting like name is required. Alrighty, so that's that. And what if we do provide the name? Yeah, if you do provide the name, so it will gives us that name, but once we create that what do we call it, once we create that category and that is already available inside our MongoDB, and then we try to recreate that category once again, then it will give us this error like already existed. Anyway, so now let's just create a new category based on the name which the user is going to be providing us. So what I want to do is that I'm going to just write const category, and it will be now equals to the await keyword and new category. And here we just have to specify the name which the user is giving us, and here we just have to use the mongoose save method right here. So it will just save the newly entered data into that MongoDB. So the next thing which we have to do is that we just have to write the rest.json, and we just have to specify this category which we just created. So now I'm going to just save this file. Let me just click on this button, and here you can see we are now getting the name and so far, and we are getting this unique ID. And now let's just check out our database right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the MongoDB, and now let's just refresh that and open this document right here, not a users, but we gotta refresh this collection entirely. So come on, man, don't need that. So let's just refresh this collection entirely, and here you can see we are now getting these categories right here. Let me just highlight that. Here you can see we are now getting these categories. I'm gonna just expand that, and we just have one document inside there. If you just open that, here you can see we are now getting our unique ID. We are getting the name which is sofa, and that's amazing. But what if we try to recreate their sofa once again? Like here we just specify the name of sofa and it is already created. So let's just create it once again. If I click on it one more time, already existed. So yeah, that's also working. So the next thing I want to do before we getting into it, I'm going to create one more for, like, I don't know, keyboard or something like that, or electronics. You can give them any name you want. So I'm going to just click on this send button, and boom, here you can see our keyboard, and this new category will be created right here. So let's just refresh that, and here you can see we have two documents. One is keyboard and the second one is sofa. So yeah, we are now successfully creating our category right here. And the next thing which, oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot one thing right here. I just realized that the user is not even authenticated and not even authorized as an admin. So that's a huge no-no. I'm gonna have to copy that. Let's just place it right here. The user should be authenticated and the user should be authorized as an admin. Then they would be able to create the category. So now let me just save that, and now let me just go ahead and delete the existing category right here. Delete this one, boom. Delete this one, once again, boom. Okay, so my collection or my document is totally empty. And now let's just go ahead and create one. So I guess I'm not logged in. Let me check out the cookies. I already am logged in. So let's just remove that cookie right here. Or you know what? Instead of removing that cookie, I just want to go ahead and just log out. Let me just click on that and log out right here. And now let's just try to create that category right here. Click on the send button. Not authorized, no token. Okay, so let's suppose if I log in as someone, I even forgot the names of the people that I added. Oh, you know what? Let's just log in as a Joe. I remember the Joe from the U season. Joe, J-O-E, I guess, and J-O-E 123. Okay, so now let's just log in as this person. Yep, we have Joe Goldberg right here. So now let me just save that, and now let me just try to create this category right here. Click on him. And not authorized as an admin. You have to be an admin and you have to be authorized, then you would be able to create a category. If not, then you can. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and log out once again, and now let me just log in as Hussein right here. So I'm going to just write Hussein, and here I'm going to use Hussein 123. Okay, so I just wanted to log in as Hussein. Like, Hussein is the admin user right here, so that's why I wanted to log in as the admin user. There we go. Excuse me. Let me just save this file, click on the send button, and I just log in as Hussein, and he is an admin because he is a top G. And now let me just try to create this category right here. So I'm going to just click on this send button, and here you can see we are now successfully creating this keyboard. Let me create one more for the sofa or something like that, and click on the send button, and here you can see we are now getting the sofa. Alrighty, so now we are totally able to create our category and all of that. The next thing which we have to do is that we have to update the category. So I'm going to just use like router.route, and in this case we have to specify the category ID. Then we would be able to update that specific category by the ID. So I'm going to just write authenticate and also authorize as an admin. And now let me just provide the update category. There we go. So now let me just copy that and now import that from this controller right in here. So save this one, and now let's just go ahead and export that right here. So let's just create that controller. I'm going to create that controller right here by using the async handler, provide the async request response, and there we go. Okay, so let's just use the try and catch blocks. For the catch block, what do you want to do? We just want to log console.error, and we just want to pass that error. Okay, underneath that we are going to be also using like res.status of 500, and we are going to be also providing that JSON right here. So JSON and error, it should be equal to like something, I don't know, internal server error or something like that. Okay, so what do you want to do for the try block? The first thing which you want to do is that you want to get the category name, then we would be able to update that category based on that name. The next thing which you want to do is that we want to get the category ID. So then we would be able to update that specific category based on this ID, which we are going to be getting from the request params. Okay, which we are going to be specifying it right in here for this category ID. Okay, so now underneath that, what else do we have to do? We just want to write like category, and it will be equals to await, and let's just use our category model and use the find one method on it. And here we just have to specify the ID, and we just want to provide this newly added ID which the user is giving us right here. Okay, so I mean, like, we are just finding the specific ID based on the user entered ID right here. Okay, so we are going to be checking this ID inside our database. So if it's not true, like if we didn't found that specific category which the user is talking about, so what do you want to do? We just want to return to the user like res.status, there we go, 404, come on, 404, and then provide our JSON error right here, error and category not found. The one category which you are talking about is not found otherwise. And if that's not the case, we just want to get the category dot name, and we just want to set that to the new name which the user is specifying right here. So we are going to be going into the category, we are going to be going into the database, and we are going to be just checking the specific category name, and we are going to be updating that by the newly added category which the user gives us a few seconds ago. The next thing which we have to do is that we have to just save that to our database. So I'm going to just use like const updated category, and it will be now equals to like await, and then category dot save right here. Okay, category, yep, that's it. And now finally let's just show something to the user so that the user can see, yeah, something is updated. So I'm going to just pass my updated category right here. So now let's just save that, and now let's just try to update the category. Why in the world it is not show? Okay, updated right here. So now let me just save that, and now let's go ahead and create a new route right here, or request rather. And we are going to be also, no, we are not going to be posting. Is that a post or put? Let's just check. That's a put request. Yep, that's a put request. So we just have to provide a put request right here, and let me just grab that URL and let me just place it right here. Alrighty, so the next thing which we have to do is that we have to also get the ID from that specific category which we currently have. So let's just refresh that. We have two categories. So we have keyboard and we have this sofa. So I don't know, I'm gonna just change this sofa right here. So now let me just get that sofa, and now let me just provide that ID which we copied from this unique ID right here. Oh, we cannot send that right away. We have to send some sort of a data right here. So now I'm gonna just click on the body, go to the raw, click on the JSON, and now let's just specify some new name to it, like I don't know, gaming or something like that. Gaming would be fine. So I'm going to just click on the send button, and there we go. Here you can see we are now getting this gaming rather. Okay, so now if I just close this one, we still have two collections right here. So if I just refresh that one more time, and now let me just go to the keyboard. So this is the keyboard. Now let me just go ahead, and instead of sofa, we are now seeing the gaming right here, which means like we are now successfully updating the category right here. All right, so let's just give a name of that to like category, or update category would be fine. So now let's just close this one and also close this one as well. The next thing which I want to do is that I wanted to delete a specific category. So how can I go about doing that? Remove this one, and I want to go to the category routes. There we go. So I just want to write a router, and I'm gonna write a route for this case, and here we have to specify the category ID, and based on that ID we are going to be able to delete that category. So I'm going to just authenticate and authorize as an admin, and let's just pass or remove category, right? Come on, CATEGORY. I'm going to copy that and let me just place it right in here. Okay, so now let me just go ahead and create that controller right here, but before I do, I'm going to have to export that. And now let me just create it, async handler and async request response, and bang. So removing a category is quite simple and easy. You just have to copy this code and paste it. I'm just kidding, you just have to copy and paste this code right here. But the next thing which you have to do is that you just have to write like const remove, and you just have to write await, and then get access to the category model which we just created, and then use the find by ID and delete. And there are countless ways to just perform this single task right here. I'm just doing it by using delete, or you know, let me just, instead of delete, I'm gonna just write like remove rather, and I'm gonna just pass my request and params and also the category ID right here. So what are we doing? First of all, we are gonna have to provide some sort of a ID right here, and then we are going to be passing that ID right here, and if that ID matches, we are going to be removing that thing or that specific category based on that ID, because we are using find by ID and remove. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, so you just have to check out my MongoDB and Mongoose course, which isn't that much long. So let's just show this remove to the user. So now let me just save that, and now let's just check it out. So I'm gonna just create a request, not a folder. I'm always afraid of creating a folder. Let's just create that request right here, add request, and let's just change that to delete. And are we using a delete? Yep, we are. Okay, so let's just copy that and place it right here. And what I want to do is that I wanted to delete specific categories. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the MongoDB, and let's suppose here you can see we have a keyboard, here we have a gaming. I wanted to create one more. I want to create a few more maybe. So I'll just create, I don't know, one for like, I don't know, phone. Let me just create one more for like mouse or something like that, and let me just create one more for like microphone or something. Okay, so now let's check it out. If I refresh my server, I mean like if I refresh my document right here, so here you can see we have a few items right here. But let's suppose if I want to remove this mouse right here, so I'm going to go ahead and just copy that, and now we have to specify it right in here. Okay, so we just have to specify the ID. I'm going to save this file. Let me just save this file as well. And now we just want to delete that, nothing else, but just click on this send button. There we go. So now mouse is successfully deleted. So currently I want you to pay attention to this document length right here. So currently we just have 5 items, but if I refresh that, here you can see we are now getting 4 items right here, which means that mouse is totally gone. So we have microphone, we have phone, we have gaming, and we have keyboard right here. Okay, so we are now able to successfully delete that specific category by their ID right here. So that's cool. So the next thing which I want to do is that we want to get all of that categories which we currently have inside our database, and we are going to be using that for 2 cases. The one case which we are going to be using is in the shop, which we are going to be creating very soon, and also for the dashboard, like for the admin dashboard as well. So we are going to be using this one, I mean like this route there as well. So now let me just use route, and now let's just go ahead and provide categories. Categories, and it will be a get request, and we are not going to be providing authenticate and authorize as an admin because we don't need that. So we can just write like list category right here. You can, if you wanted to, like you can provide authenticated and authorize, but in my case I'm not planning to. So now let's just copy that, And now let me just place it right here. My mouse stopped working, so let me just place it right here. Gotta do everything by using a keyboard now. And let's just place it right here. And now let me just create this list category. There we go. So async handler and provide, or async request response, and boom. So it's quite simple and easy. So we just have to write like console.log of error, and we also have to write like return res.status of 400, and then JSON provide the error message. There we go. And inside this try block, what do you want to do? We just want to get all, and it will be now equals to await, and we want to get all of the categories which we currently have. So for that, we are going to have to use these curly braces right here, and then we have to just use like res.json all. There we go. So now if you save that, yep, and now let's just go ahead and check it out. So I'm going to create one more request right in here, and all categories, there we go. Let me just copy that and place it right here, and it is a get request, so we don't have to bother anything. So let's just remove that ID, and I'm gonna also add a categories right here. So first of all, we have to write the API, then the category, and then the categories plural, because we want to get all of the categories. So I'm gonna just click on this send button, and here you can see we are now getting the keyboard, the gaming, the phone, and also the microphone right here. So that's amazing too. So the final thing which I want to do is I want to read a specific category. So how can I go about doing that? Well, we just have to write router.route, and we just want to go to nowhere, but we just want to provide a specific ID, and based on this ID we are going to be able to get that specific, or not get, but just read that specific category. So I'm going to just copy that, read category, and then place it right here. Okay, let's just go ahead and create that read category right here, and also let me just create it right here like read category async handler, and provide our async right here request response, and inside there we are going to be using a try and catch block. Once again, inside this inside this catch block, we just want to use like console.log of error and return res.status of 400 and JSON error message right here. Okay, and inside this try block, what do you want to do? We just want to write a category, and it will be now equals to await category dot find one. This is a mongoose method, you are probably aware of that. And now let's just get request params id, and I wanted to make sure that this one should also be params, not singular but plural params, and then res.json, and provide our category which we are getting right now. So now let me just save this file, and let's just go ahead and read a specific category by ID. Yep, let's just create one request, add request category by ID, or ID will be in uppercase. There we go. I'm gonna copy this link, and let's just place it right here. And what I want to do is that I wanted to provide the ID right here. So let's suppose if I want to read a specific category, like I don't know, gaming or something like that, I'm gonna copy this ID right here, and now let me just paste it right here and click on this send button, and it will give us that specific ID right here, like that specific category. So yeah, that was it about how to create a category, how to update a category, and how to delete a category. And I guess there isn't anything left that I have to cover, but if I have to cover something, I will cover that very soon. I don't think like there is anything left, so that's it about for the backend of categories. So we learned about how to create a category, update them, delete them, and get all of the categories. So next we are going to be jumping into the front end part of these categories. Alrighty, so now let's get into the front end, and also let's get into the pages. And inside these pages we are going to be creating our file inside this admin folder. Okay, so the name of the file will be category list.jsx right here. I'm going to write RAFCE, and now let's just save this file, and now let's go ahead and go to the main, and let's just register that right here. So underneath this user list, I'm going to import my category list right here. Okay, and also now let's just register our route right here. So the path will go to category list. Okay, and I'm going to also toss one element right here, and our element will be category list right here. Now let's just close that right here, Come on, let's just close that. There we go. And like so. So I'm gonna just save this file, and let's just go ahead and check it out whether everything is working or not. So what I want to do is that, let's just go back. What I want to do is that, first of all, I'm going to run my npm run dev to run both the front end and also the back end as well. So let's just wait for it to do its thing. And successfully connected. Now let's just refresh that. Okay, so we are currently inside a user list. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the category right here. So here you can see we are now getting that category list right here. But the thing is, it is hidden behind this navigation bar right here. So now let's just grab every single thing which we need for this category list. So the first thing I would do is that I'm going to get my use stat right here. Underneath that, we are going to be also importing, or what do you call it, toast. There we go. From where? From the React Toastify. There we go. And I guess that would be it. So the next thing which I want to do is that I want to also configure my endpoint for the category. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Redux, and then I'm going to go to the API. Inside this API, I'm going to create a file given name of like category API slice.js right here. And now let's just configure all of these routes right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the category routes. And now let's just configure route for the home, like how to create a category, how to update a category, how to remove the category, and how to list a category, and how to read a category right here. So now let's just make endpoints for that. So I'm going to just first of all import my API slice right here. And the next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and go to the const right here, or constants, and I'm going to just write const, and it will be equals to category, category URL, and the category URL will be equal to API and category. There we go. Now inside there, we are going to be also importing our category URL right here from the constants. So now let me just inject the endpoint. So I'm going to just use like export const category API slice, and it will be now equals to API slice dot inject endpoints right here. And here we just have to specify the endpoints. Okay. So now the first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to provide my builder right here, and the first endpoint I'm going to make is for creating a category. So I'm going to write create category, and it will be equals to builder.mutation. And inside there, we are going to be passing our query right here, and we are going to be also taking the new category, and let's just provide that right here. Okay, so I'm going to also specify the URL, and the URL in this case will be equals to the category URL which we've declared in the constants file. And now underneath this URL, we are going to be also passing our method. So let's just pass our method, and the method will be post. Okay, and we are getting error. That's because we have to provide these parentheses around them. And there we go. So the next thing which I want to do is that I also wanted to pass the body right here, and the body will say like new category, and that's it. So now let me just save this file, and now let's just generate a hook based on that. Or you know what, I'm going to create all of that endpoints right here, and then based on that endpoints, we're going to be creating all of that hooks right here. So first of all, I'm going to just create the next hook, which will be, the next endpoint right here, which will be for update category. There we go. And for update category, we are going to be passing the builder mutation, and inside there we are going to be passing the query, and also our category ID, and based on the ID we are going to be updating our category right here, as we learned there from the backend. So let's just provide our arrow function, and let's just pass our URL, and inside this URL we are going to be first of all passing the category URL, and then it will go to the category ID right here. Let me provide my comma in there. And the next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to also pass the method, and the method will be equals to put, and the body in this case I'm going to pass the updated category. There we go. Or it should also be updated, not just a singular update. So that's then. Now the next thing which I want to do is that I want to create one for the deleting a category. So I'm going to write a builder.mutation, and inside this mutation we are going to be passing our query, and let's just provide our category ID right here. And inside there we are going to be also passing our URL, and the URL will be equals to, first of all, our category URL. It will go to the category ID right here, not slice, category ID, this one. Okay, let's just provide our comma, and underneath this URL we are going to be also passing our method, which will be delete. Okay, and I guess that's it. So now let me just save that. So this is how we are going to be creating, updating, deleting but I forgot to do one thing, which will be, so now let's just create one for the fetch all the categories. Okay, so what I want to do is that I'm going to just pass the builder.query, and we want to just provide this query right here. So let's just provide a query, and I'm going to first of all pass my function, and inside there we are going to be also passing our category URL, and it will go to the categories, like all of the categories which we have inside our backend. So yeah, I guess that would be it for creating, updating, deleting, and fetching all of the categories. So what I want to do is that I wanted to make a hooks based on this. So I'm going to just write export const, and let's just export that. So I'm going to use first of all use I don't know use fetch query. What was that? Use create category. Oh, you know, it's not giving me that autocomplete right here. It will be equals to category API slice, and inside there we are going to be using the use create use create category mutation, and the next one we have is the use update category mutation, and the next one we have is the use delete category mutation, and the final one we have is the use fetch. What was that? Use fetch categories query right here. So what I want to do, I'm going to save this file, and now I guess that's it for creating that endpoints. I'm going to go ahead and go to the category list right here, and now let's just use them. I'm going to import it right here, so I'll just import that from where? From, let's just go ahead 2 times from let's just go ahead 2 times, go to the Redux, and inside this Redux we want to go to the API, and then we want to go to the category API slice right here. So let's just go ahead and copy all of them, or maybe just a few of them, but you know, I'm going to just copy all of them, and let's just place it right here. Okay, so we need fetching all of the categories, deleting, and all of that. So all right, so the next thing which I want to do is that I wanted to get the data, so I'm going to just write a data, and now let's just rename that to categories, and it will be now equals to the use fetch categories right here. So it will give us all of the categories. So let's just log that to the console. So I'm going to use like console.log categories. So I'm going to save this file, and guess what? Categories is not defined. categories. Let's just copy this one, place it right here. I'm going to save this file, and now I'm going to right click on him, go to the inspect area, go to the console, and we are getting some sort of an error. React router caught the following error during the render reference, and category is not defined. So let's just refresh that. First of all, we are getting undefined, and then we are getting these 4 categories right here, which are currently available inside our database. So we can see that in the MongoDB if you wanted to. So we have keyboard, gaming, we have phone, and we have microphone right here. So which means like everything is working totally fine. Let's just remove that. The next thing which I want to do is that I wanted to get the name, and also what do we call it, the selected category. So we're going to do the selected category in a few seconds, but first of all let me just write a name. So I'm going to just write use state, and here it will be set to the empty state. Okay, so next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to write a selected category, and then set selected category, and it will be also equals to the use state of totally empty string, or not empty string but null in this case. And the next thing which I want to do is that I wanted to just write update category. So I'm going to write update name, and also set update come on set update name, and it will be equals to the use state right here, and this use state will be set to totally empty string. And let's just write our model visible visible, there we go, and then set model visible, there we go, and it will be equals to the use state, and let's just provide our false right here. So that's that. So the next thing which I want to do is that I want to get a data from creating the category, updating the category, and deleting the category. So let's just write const create category first of all. So create category, and it will be equals to use create category mutation right here. So the next thing which I want to do is that I also want to get update category from where? Come on. From the use update category mutation, and I also wanted to get one for the deleting the category. So delete category, and it will be now equals to use delete category mutation right here. Alrighty, so that's that. And now let's write all of our JSX right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to specify a class name. Margin for the left will be 10 rems, and it will be flex, and flex column, and for the medium screen, what do you want to do? We just want to set the display to flex raw. right here. The next thing which we want to do is that we are going to be also rendering the admin menu, but in a few seconds. So now let's just make that as a component. So we're going to be creating that component in a few seconds. The next thing which I want to do is that I'm going to create a div, and for the medium screen it will take just like a width of 3 or 4, and now let's just provide padding all around of 3. Okay, now inside this div we are going to be just writing a height of 12, and it will just say like manage categories. There we go. I'm gonna save this file, and here you can see we are now getting our manage categories right here. Underneath this div we are going to be creating a separate, you know what, I'm gonna just create a separate component right here. So let's just do that. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the components folder and create that separate component of category form.jsx right here. So inside this category form, what I want to do is that first of all I'm going to write RAFCE. Let's just go ahead and remove that, and here we're going to be destructuring a few props like the value. We are going to be also providing the set value to it, and we are going to be also providing the handle submit right here, and also the button which will say like I don't know, submit or something like that, and also one for the handle delete. There we go. So I'm going to just save this file, and now let's just use that right here. So the first thing which I want to do is that I'm going to provide a padding for all around, and inside this div we are going to be creating a form. So let's just create a form, and it will tag that on submit, and for on submit we are going to be passing the on handle submit. And now let me just give a class of space for the y-axis of totally 3. And now inside this form we are going to be creating one input. The type will be set to text, and the classes we are going to be providing like padding for the y-axis will be set to 3, and also padding for the x-axis will be 4. Let's provide the border will be totally rounded large, and also the width will be totally full. Okay, and I'm going to also provide a placeholder right here, and the placeholder will say like a right category name right here. Come on, right. And let's just provide the value, and we are going to be providing the destructure value which we just destructured, so we are going to be providing that manually. And now let's just provide our on change. We are going to be providing our event object and also the set value right here. So set value will just take like event.target.value. Let's just save that, and now underneath this input we are going to be creating one div. So let me just create one div, and the display will be set to flex, justify will be set to between, and inside that we are going to be creating one button, and I'm going to give it a class of like background totally pink of 500, and also text will be totally white, and also padding for the y-axis will be set to 2, and padding for the x-axis will be set to 4, and it will also be totally rounded large. And on the hover state we are going to be providing the background of pink. Pink 600 would be fine, so I'm going to write like 600, and boom. Now inside this button, or you know what, let's just also provide the focus state as well. So for the focus, what do you want to do? We just want to provide the outline of none, and also for the focus we are going to be setting that to like ring of 2, ring pink 500, focus, and ring opacity will be set to 50. Now inside as a label we are going to be rendering the label of the button text which we already destructured. So button text, where is the button text rather? I'm going to copy that. Let's just place it right here, and that's it. Now I'm going to save this file as well. Now underneath that we are going to be also rendering the handle delete right here. If handle delete, and then provide this JSX right here. So we are going to be writing a button, and yeah, let's just write it manually because it is not auto completing it for me. Okay, so I'm going to provide a class of what? The class of background totally red of 500, and also the text will be totally white. The padding for the y-axis will be 2, padding for the x-axis will be set to 4, and rounded for the large. And once we hover over it, so background will be set to totally red of 600, and also for the focus, outline will be set to none, and for the focus ring 2, and also for the focus the ring will be red 500, and focus ring opacity 5 or 50. Okay, and it will just take like, let's just save this file, and it will take the label of delete right here. But we also have to specify the on click, so let's just write the on click, not on play but click. There we go. And for the on click we are going to be specifying the handle delete right here. So now let's just save that and go ahead and go back, and this is how currently things looks like. So we are destructuring the value, set value, and we are passing it right here, but we didn't specify any values for them. So now let's just use that. But before we getting into using that, or you know what, let's just use that. Let me just use it right here. I'm gonna get my category form and hit enter, so it will auto complete it for me, or auto import it for me rather. And now let's just provide a value, and value will be set to name initially, and also the set value will be also equals to the set name. And we have to also specify the handle submit right here, and handle submit will take the handle category or handle create category rather, which we are going to be creating in a few seconds. And so underneath that, let's just provide a break and also the horizontal line. And here we are going to be rendering all of our categories. So if we create a category, so we're going to be rendering it right here. So let's just write a flex and flex of wrap, and inside that we're going to be writing a categories if we have that. So let's just iterate over through them. So let's just write a category, and it will be now equals to this JSX right here. So first of all, we are going to be providing a div, and come on, let's just write a div. I guess we did something wrong. Let's just go back, and I'm gonna also provide the class name, or not a class name but key, and the key will be just a category and ID. We're going to be specifying the category ID, and inside there we're going to be creating a button, and this button will take a lot of classes like background of totally white, and border will be pink and 500, and also text will be set to totally pink 500, and padding for the y-axis will be 2, padding for the x-axis will be 4, and totally rounded large, and for the margin all around we are going to be specifying 3, and hover state will be set to background pink of 500, and on the hover state the text will be set to white, and for the focus, and for the focus outline will be none, and also for the focus ring 2, and focus for the focus ring will be pink 500, and focus ring opacity will be set to 50. Okay, so now inside there we are going to be also attaching the on click event handler, not play but click event handler, and let's just pass over what do we call it, our arrow function right here, and it will be set to the set model visible right here, and we're going to be specifying the tree, and the set selected category will be set to category category, and also the set of set updating name set updating name, and it will be equals to the category dot name, which we are going to be specifying it right here. Alright, so now as a label we are going to be writing the label as a category dot name, which you will see in a second. So now let me just save that, and handle create category is not defined because we didn't create that, so we will create that in a few seconds. Oh, you know, let's just create that. Handle create category, let's just create it right here up above this return statement. So I'm gonna just write handle create category right here, and it will be an asynchronous, and let's just provide our event object, and inside there we are going to be preventing the default behavior, and I'm going to check if not name, if you don't have any name. So what do you want to do? We just want to write a toast.error, and we want to say like category name is required, there we go. And now let's just return that as well. So if that's the case, and if that's not the case, so what do you want to do? We just want to write our try and catch blocks right here, and for the catch block, first of all we are going to be writing console.error, and we want to see that error right here, and underneath that we are going to be also writing toast.error, and it will say like I don't know, creating category fail, failed, there we go. Try again would be fine as well. So this is going to be for the catch block, and now let's just take care of the try block. So for the try block, first of all we are going to be getting the result, and it will be await create category, which we are getting from this use create category mutation right here. Okay, so inside there we are going to be specifying the name which the user is going to be providing us, and now let's just use the unwrap, and now let's just unwrap that. And the next thing which I want to do is that I wanted to check for the errors. So if you have some sort of error inside this result, so what do you want to do in that case? So we just want to write like toast.error, and let's just throw that error right here, like that error which we are going to be getting. Otherwise, if that's not the case, so what do you want to do? We just want to write set name, and we just want to set that to totally empty string, and we also want to toss a post right here, it will say like success, and in this case I'm gonna just render, I don't know, result.name right here. Okay, is created would be fine. So now let's just save that. So here you can see this is our screen. So we are getting our input, we're getting our button, and we are getting all of our categories right here. So now if we click on these categories, nothing is going to happen right now. But let's suppose if you want to create some sort of a category right here, so I'm gonna just write like Apple or something like that. Let's just click on the submit button. So here you can see Apple is totally created, and now let's just refresh, and here you can see we have our Apple right here. If we go ahead and go to the MongoDB, come on, we gotta connect that right here. Go to Hossein store, we have a categories, and now let's go ahead and check, and here you can see we have an Apple right here, which means like it is successfully connected. Successfully created right here. So the next thing which I want to do is that when I click on each of these categories, so I wanted to get a pop-up box, so I wanted to edit that category, update that category, and I want to delete that if I wanted to. Okay, so I wanted to get a pop-up box right here, or model, whatever you want to call that. So now let me just take care of that. So you know what, I'm going to create a separate component for that. So inside these components, I'm going to create a model. So model.jsx right here, and this model will also take a lot of props. So I'm going to write RAFCE, come on, RAFCE, and remove that, and inside that we are going to be specifying is open, and also on close, and also children. There we go. And inside that, what do you want to do? We just want to provide first of all our fragments, and inside these fragments we are going to be checking is open. So if the model is open, so what do you want to do? We just want to render this content right here. Come on, man, if I can get this parenthesis. There we go, finally. And inside there we are going to be making it fixed. There we go. And we are going to be also providing the inset of, come on, inset of 0, and it will be set to flex, and items center, justify center, and also let's just provide a z index of 50 right here. Let's just save that. And inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to get the fixed and also the insert 0, and background will be set to totally black, and opacity will be set to 50. Underneath there, we want to create one more div with a class of absolute, and also the top will be set to this arbitrary value. So I'm going to just write like 40%, and also the right will be set to 50%, and the background will be set to totally white. Padding will be all around set to 4, rounded large, and also the z index will be set to 10. Okay, and I'm going to also provide a text of right to it. So that's it. Now inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to get our button, and it will just say like X. Okay, so I'm going to just provide a text of black right here, text of totally black, and font will be semi-bold. Let's just go back. On the hover state, we just want to get a text of gray 700, and I also want to provide a focus state of like outline none, and margin for the right will be just set to 2. And let me provide the on click event handler on there, and the on click we are going to be specifying, or on click right here, or on close rather. So on CLOSE. There we go. And underneath this X button, we also want to render our children. And so now let me just save that, and this is it about our model right here. So now we successfully create our model. So now let's just use that right here. So underneath this div, what do you want to do? We just want to get our model. So I'm gonna write model. If I can get that. Okay, we cannot. So let's just remove that. Go ahead and import it manually. So I guess I'm gonna have to import it right here. Import more. Come on, import model from, let's just go ahead and go to the components folder first of all, and then we have to go to the model, and now let's just use it right here. So I'm going to just write model, and for the model we are going to be first of all providing the is open, and we are going to be providing the model visible, and here we just have to provide the on close. So what do you want to do? We just want to provide this function right here. It will say like set model visibility or set model visible. It will be set to false. And now inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to render, or what do we call it, category form right here. Let's just close that right here. And I'm going to specify the value of updating name. Did we have updating name? Did we declare updating name? Updating name is not defined. You know what, let's go ahead, go to the top and provide our updating name right here. So that's update name. It should be updating name. So updating updating name, and come on, let's just change that to updating name. So I'm gonna write set updating name. There we go. Set updating name. So set updating name. All right, so that's cool. Now the next thing which I want to do is that let's just place it right here as a value, and also let's provide a set value, and the set value will be equals to the value first of all, and also the set updating name, and we're going to be specifying the new name right here, like the new value. And also let's just go back from there. I'm going to save this file right here so we can see everything a bit better. I'm going to pass the handle submit, and for the handle submit we are going to be just specifying the handle update category, which we are going to be creating in a few seconds, and the button text will say like update in this case, and underneath that we are going to be also specifying the handle delete, and it will say like handle delete category. There we go. So now let's just create both the handle update and also the handle delete right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the top. Underneath this handle, what do we call a handle create category, we're going to be creating the handle update category. So let's just write const handle update category, and preliminary equals to the async provide our event object. Inside there we're going to be preventing the default behavior. And now let's just check if we don't have updating name. So what do you want to do in that case? So we just want to provide our toast, and it will say error category name name is required. There we go. And the next thing which you want to do is that we just want to return. And also if that's not the case, we just want to write our try and catch blocks, and for the catch block we just want to write like console dot error or something like that, console dot error of this error right here, and that's it. And for the try block, what do you want to do? We just want to get the result, and it will be equals to await and update category. Update category. Come on, where the hell is that? So let's just change that to update category and hit enter. And now let's just check him out. So we have update category right here. That's cool. And I want to make sure that we didn't mess up something. Okay, everything is okay. The next thing which we want to do is that we want to specify the data right here inside there. So we are going to be using like category ID, and it will be equals to a selected category, and we just want to get the ID from there. So just ID from the selected category. And I'm going to also specify the updated category, and change that to the name, and I'm going to provide my updating name right here. Okay, and let's just use the unwrap. Underneath that we're going to be also checking, let's just check for result.error if we have some sort of error. So we are going to be providing that on the toast, so toast.error, and it will say result.error right here. And if you don't have any error, so what do you want to do? We just want to write like toast.success, and here we just have to write that toast not toast but result.name. What was that? Result.name is updated. And underneath this toast we're going to be setting the selected category to what? To null, and also the set updating name, let's just change that to empty string, and set model visible and change that to false right here. Okay, so let's just save this file, and what are we getting? Handle delete one. I'm gonna comment this line out for a second. Let's just refresh there, and let's suppose instead of apple, I'm gonna click on there. I wanted to change that to like orange or something, so I'm gonna write like orange. Click on the update, and here you can see orange is successfully updated. And now if I refresh, and here you can see we are now getting orange. And now let's just go ahead and check it inside MongoDB right here, and let's just open that, and here you can see it is now changed to orange right here. Alright, so that's working. So now let's just work with this handle delete category right here. Okay, so underneath this handle update one, what do you want to do? We just want to create our handle delete. So this one is going to be totally simple and easy. So I'm going to use like handle delete category async, and inside there, what do you want to do? We just want to write our try and catch blocks, and for the catch we are going to be using console.error, and let's just provide our error right here. And underneath them we are going to be also writing a toast.error right here, and let's just write like, I don't know, category deletion failed, try again. And inside there, inside try block, what do we want to do? We just want to get our result, and the result will be equals to await and delete category, which we are getting from the use delete category mutation. And here we just have to use the selected category, and we just want to get the simple ID from there. And now let's just unwrap there like so. And here what do you want to do? We just want to check for the result.error. If we have some sort of error, so we just want to write toast.error, and we just have to specify that error right in here. Okay, so if you don't have any error, so what do you want to do in that case? Else we just want to write toast.success, and for the success stat we are going to be writing this, what do we call it, result.name is delete, come on, delete it. There we go. So now underneath that we are going to be using the set selected category, and it will be now equals to totally null. And also let's just provide the set model visibility, and now let's just change that to false. Okay, so let's just save everything, and finger crossed. I wanted to delete this gaming one, so I'm going to just click on this category right here, so I can totally update that if I wanted to. But now I'm going to just click on the delete, and here you can see gaming is deleted. So if I just refresh that, and here you can see that's totally gone. I want to also remove this phone, and I also want to remove this microphone, so let's just remove that, refresh that, and let's just make sure, can we also close the model? So this is how we are going to be opening the model, and let's just click on that, and this is how we are going to be closing it. Okay, so this is our keyboard. Let's just change that to, like, I don't know, mouse or something. Click on update, refresh that, and here you can see we are now getting mouse and orange right here. Remove the orange, bang. Alrighty, so that was it about how we are going to be creating the category, how we are going to be updating the category, and how we are going to be deleting the category right here. So next we are going to be learning about the admin products, like how we are going to be updating the products, how we are going to be deleting the product and creating a product, the image upload, the file upload, and all of that in the next video. But for now, I guess that would be it.